Ẹ káàbọ̀ sí iléeṣẹ́ wa ò, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ọdẹ ọdún bí ṣàlàáfíà làbá gbogbo lé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Yorùbá nation ní ọ̀nà àbáyọ, bí wọ́n fẹ́ bí wọ́n kọ̀ Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe. Lórí awuyewuye tó ń lọ, mo jù ọ́ lọ, èmi ni ọ̀gá ẹ, èmi lélẹ̀, èmi ni gbá, láàrin Aláàfin ti ìlú Ọ̀yọ́ àti Ọ̀ọ̀ni ti Ilé Ifẹ̀. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbogbo ẹ̀ ti ṣe ń lọ lọ́wọ́ yìí, Aláàfin ti jáde o, Aláàfin ti sọ̀rọ̀. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí Aláàfin ti ṣe sọ, ó ní I don't need to get into any supremacy battle with any monarch in Yoruba land. Eléyìí ò lágbára. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ni wọ́n wò pé kí ló tún ṣẹlẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ bí ó ti ṣe lọ. I don't need to get into any supremacy battle with any monarch in Yoruba land, says the Alaafin. Now, the Alaafin of Oyo, Oba Hakeem Owade, has stated that he does not need to be involved in any supremacy battle with any monarch in Yoruba land or anywhere in the world. Now, Nigeria On Point reports that a fresh battle between Oba Owade and the Ooni of Ife, Oba Enitan Ogunwusi, started on Monday after the Alaafin faulted the latter's decision to confer the title of Okanlomo of Odua on a businessman, Dotun Sanusi, during the unveiling of an indigenous social media network together at Laji Hotel, Ibadan. Now, the Alaafin also issued a 48-hour ultimatum to Ooni to revoke the chieftaincy title, but the monarch ignored it. However, the Alaafin, in a statement on Thursday by his director of media and publicity, Bode Durojaye, in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, disclosed that the monarch is a veritable custodian of Yoruba culture and tradition, and then has always taken into consideration the safety and the welfare of his subjects at all times. Now, Durojaye emphasized that the Alaafin relied heavily on the will and then wishes of his subjects, and they would never compromise tradition, culture, and the development of his people for a pot of porridge. He said the monarch operates a government that is judged by its results as the prosperity, security, and the well-being of the people dictates his popularity both in the palace and then in the empire at large. Now, the statement reads, and I quote, "Why Alaafin does not need to get into any battle for supremacy with any Oba, either in Yoruba land or anywhere in the universe." These immortal words of Alexander Graham Bell, the most successful men in the end, are those whose success is the result of a steady accretion. It is the man who carefully advances step by step, with his mind becoming wider and progressively be able to grasp any theme of situation, persevering in what he knows to be practical and then concentrating his thoughts upon it, who is bound to succeed in the greatest degree. Sum up the life voyage of Owade, an indomitable monarch with an unequaled passion for the great good of all. Now, Alaafin is a veritable custodian of a Yoruba culture and a tradition, and has always taken into consideration the safety and the welfare of his subjects, and then will never compromise tradition, culture, and then development of his people for a pot of porridge. The history has been so kind and friendly to Alaafin Owade publicity since he ascended the throne of his forefathers, as he does not need to get into any battle for supremacy with any Oba, either in Yoruba land or anywhere in the universe. Alaafin combines humility with royalty to meet the modern day demands. Kábíyèsí, the king who no one questions. Ikú Baba Yeye, the one who commands death, or he who is parent to death. Aláṣẹ, he who wields authority. Èkejì òrìṣà, second in command to the gods. The Alaafin was inducted into the mysteries of various gods like Ifa, Shango, etc., to be the direct representative of these deities on earth. Now, at the hallowed ground of the Yoruba ancient shrine, as Owade made a covenant with illustrious Yoruba ancestors that he would defend, protect, and then add glamour to the Yoruba norms and then tradition. Oduduwa's principal minister and then grandson Oromiyan, because Oduduwa begot Okabi, an only child, and then Okabi begot Oromiyan, among others, namely Ila, Orogun, Ooni, Sabe, Olupopo, Alaketu, Oba Benin, founded the city of Oyo when prolonged drought struck Ile-Ife as a result of people's emigration. Now, Oyo simply rose to prominence through wealth gained from trade and its military skills. It was the largest West African empire, the most important and then authoritative of all the early Yoruba principalities. More so, the British, as it was in their tradition, recognized lineage as a meaningful supremacy and a legitimacy, preferring to sign the Treaty of Cessation with the Alaafin as the superior head of the Yoruba nation. Well, meanwhile, in politics also, he is concerned about the sanctity of his position, and then whatever happens on the welfare of his people, customs, and then all traditional practices of today in government, religion, and then economic life have had distance and then possibly age-long origins, which were based on a valid and then accepted tenet that emerged from the synthesis and then aggregated experience of a particular society. Now, one of such societies is the ancient city of Oyo, reputed for cultural resources that are of rich non-material and material attributes, and transmitted through generations. More so, the precepts and the concept of Alaafin's administration have continued to support and nurture the people's ancient culture and sophisticated civilization from time immemorial. The basic concept of a government was a monarchy with a rigid adherence to the monolithic Oduduwa dynasty and then of the paternal line. Onto this one, the Alaafin had made a strong statement that he doesn't need to get into any supremacy battle with any monarchs in Yoruba land, being that he knows his what. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ọ̀rọ̀ lélẹ́yìí o àní kí Elédùmarè máa ṣọ́ wa ogun mo jù ẹ́ lọ ìwọ ló jù mí lọ eléyìí àló ti tó ìtó ẹ jẹ́ ká fi síbi tó wà ẹ jẹ́ ká fèsì nǹkan tó ń dà wá láàmú nǹkan tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ń sọ rèé. Yorùbá nation ní ọ̀nà àbáyọ bí wọ́n fẹ́ bí wọ́n kọ̀ Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni a ní rí jù báyìí lọ lórí eléyìí a ó máa bẹ ọ̀bẹ níbẹ̀ ṣu àtẹ́lẹsẹ̀ abẹ̀nàwò ẹni tó bá lámábọ̀là ní débá kí Elédùmarè kó bùkún fún orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ó dàbọ̀.